So I should probably explain why, because this is very out of the blue and random, I guess. One of my units in uni requires a little bit of technology use here and there, and one of our projects was to make a short video. In the video we had to show examples of using music and text and like basic editing and stuff. And they gave us way too much freedom, if I'm being honest. They literally just said to us, make a short video about a topic of your choosing. And they gave us some examples, like our favourite food or why we're doing our course in university. And there's no way I'm taking this thing seriously. I don't want to talk about why I like pizza. I want to talk about Shrek. So that's what I did. So yeah, I thought I'd share it, and that's about it. Enjoy, I guess. There are 4 main characters you need to know about for this film. First you have Shrek, as the title suggests, Donkey, Fiona and Lord Farquaad. The movie starts with Shrek enjoying his life, doing ogre things. Seems like he's unemployed, so he just spends his time however he wants. He also passes time by scaring the living shite out of people, so overall just a lovely fellow. Later we see a few dozen fairy tale creatures being rounded up by the authorities. Some old lady tries to sell Donkey to them. He ends up escaping, and during his departure rear-ends Shrek. Shrek scares off the people who are chasing Donkey, and Donkey turns out to be a major clinger. Donkey proceeds to follow Shrek home. He takes one look at Shrek's swamp and is all like, that place looks like shit. And Shrek responds with, that's my home. That was my attempt at a Scottish accent. And Donkey makes a silky smooth recovery and proceeds to tell Shrek how lovely his home is. Later, Shrek enjoys a night in with a nice home-cooked meal. Then suddenly, his home is invaded by hundreds of fairy tale creatures and Shrek delivers the famous, "What are you doing in my swamp?" Turns out they're all refugees now and they tell Shrek that Lord Farquaad is to blame. So now it's apparently Shrek's job to tell Lord Farquaad what's what and get the refugees back to their own homes. Cut to a brutal torture scene. Then suddenly we're in the Bachelorette or something. I don't know. Farquaad wants to be a king and the only way he can is by marrying a princess or some such. Farquaad essentially chooses a poor unsuspecting woman to be his wife without ever having met her. He chooses Fiona, who must be rescued from a fire-breathing dragon. Farquaad is quite slimy and doesn't want to do the dirty work, so he organises a tournament to find a suitable knight to rescue Fiona. Shrek and Donkey unintentionally walk into the middle of the tournament. Farquaad tells the knights that the first one to kill the ogre is champion. Shrek is having none of that and proceeds to whoop those knights into the next dimension. Seriously, he effortlessly removes every last one of them from the census. Farquaad then decides that Shrek should be the one to rescue Fiona. Shrek makes a shady deal, he brings Farquaad the woman, then Farquaad gives Shrek the swamp back. Later, Shrek and Donkey have a conversation about onions, then Donkey pisses on a fire. After some undisclosed amount of time, Shrek and Donkey reach the castle. Donkey flirts with the dragon, while Shrek manhandles Fiona. Donkey then gets borderline sexually assaulted before Shrek steps in and puts an end to it, like a true friend. Then the 3 run for their lives in slow motion. It's pretty awesome. Later, Fiona discovers that Shrek is an ogre and gets upset. Shrek manhandles her again. Later, the gang encounters their worst enemies yet, the French. Fiona beats the shit out of them, and that is about the hottest thing Shrek has ever witnessed in his life. Enter the flirting montage. You gotta give it to this movie, I totally believe that there's a budding romance between the two. Look at them, they're so adorable. Later, Donkey discovers that Fiona turns into an ogre at sunset, some yada yada about a witch casting a spell. The next morning, Farquaad comes to pick up his booty. Then a sad montage because Shrek is secretly in love with Fiona, Fiona is secretly in love with Shrek, and everyone's sad. But no need to worry, Shrek decides to crash the wedding. He comes in all dramatic, I object! Shrek is all like, don't marry that wanker, I'm in love with you. Then Fiona reveals her secret. Farquaad is like ill she green now and tries to have the 2 arrested. Then Donkey comes in out of nowhere riding the dragon and the dragon fucking eats Farquaad like he's proper dead. This is a kid's movie and he's gone, he's eaten. And after that very romantic event, Shrek and Fiona share true love's first kiss and Fiona transforms into an ogre for good. She's all sad like, I'm supposed to be beautiful, and Shrek responds with, but you are beautiful, it's so cute and we love to see it. The movie ends with song and dance like a true early 2000s kids movie. The end.